In 1980, my family moved to the Dominican Republic. It was an island, just a canoe paddle away from Cuba. And I believe that destiny takes you to a certain place for a specific reason.
It's hard for anyone to understand the dire, impoverished conditions that exist in the Caribbean area of the Dominican Republic.
I was not aware at that time that something was going to change my life. But they would come, and I would see children running in, total chaos, without shoes, children of 6, 7, 8 years old, in the middle of the day. They weren't in school. A lot of them had lost their teeth. During all the visits of all my guests at Chateau La Fuente, no one visited Chateau La Fuente more than my brother and my dear friend Eric Newman, along with his father Stanford and his brother Bobby Newman. They would come regularly, and we would take them all through the farm. They would see the development of Chateau La Fuente. And one day Eric asked me, why were the children walking with pails of water on their head? Why weren't they in school? And during many visits after that, he said, Carlos, maybe we could make a little classroom, a wing to help these younger children. And hopefully they could learn to maybe read and write or add to 10. And that's how this whole thought began, this whole thought process.
I saw about 30 kids in a classroom, all huddled around the doorway in there. They had no lights, no electricity. They were trying to do their lessons just from the natural light outside. Most of these homes have no water. Homes, most of these huts where they live, shacks, have no water in their houses, in their shacks. So some of these girls and boys have to walk as much as 2 miles carrying jugs of water from the river to their homes, and then still the water's not fit to drink, it's contaminated. These kids are just like kids born in the United States. They're young, they're naive. They don't know that life has dealt them a tough hand. Because for generations, they've been ignored by the government, ignored by the community, ignored by society.
And I spoke to Eric about David Luther, a gentleman who I worked with over the years.
For the last 30 years, David Luther and IDDI have been working with Dominicans in impoverished areas to teach them life skills so they can take care of themselves.
I spoke to Mr. Luther about this vision that Eric and I had about building a classroom for these children. And he told me that he would come to the area and see what could be done. And after spending months there, he came back to me and he says, Carlos, you cannot educate children unless you educate their parents. Because the children would go home with books, and the parents would tell the children, get rid of those books and go to work. We don't eat with books. And he explained to me the responsibility of an integral process, that not only it was a responsibility to educate the children, but also the parents.
We've organized one of the first PTAs in the Dominican Republic. The parents, especially the mothers, have really bought into what we're trying to do for their kids. They know that we have created something very special. If you do something for me, I'd say thank you. You do something for my kid, I say you're my best friend. And right now, we in Cigar family are the best friends of these parents, these mothers. A lot of the mothers are volunteering. What is so unique about our Cigar Family Community Project from a lot of similar efforts, everybody sees a need, but when you see a need, then what people do is raise the money, then they build. But we couldn't wait. These people needed education, they needed medical, they needed fresh water right now.
Through Cigar Family, and at this point, what started out as a vision of a classroom, today, there's a preschool, an elementary school, a high school, sports facilities, basketball, baseball, volleyball. There's a health center with dentistry. Now you gotta imagine, these children have never seen a toothbrush before. Today the children are being fed a balanced meal. There's organic agriculture, from honey to the earthworms. It's a complete cycle. There's shrimp farming, there's fish farming, there's all kinds of vegetables and fruits. Not only to feed the children, but for them to learn the value of the earth and to learn to protect nature.
These kids are learning lifelong skills. They're learning English, they're learning computers. They know they got something special and they want to get ahead. All they needed was a chance.
These children used to run up to me and ask me for 20 pesos. Today they come to me and says, Carlito, give me an opportunity to come into the foundation to the project. I want an education.
I can't believe how quickly Cigar Family has made a difference. We opened up our school, the test results were at 37 nationally. By the end of the first year, they'd more than doubled to 79.
This is something that's amazing. I had never in my life thought that I would see the results so quickly. And in just several years to see the children how they're becoming leaders and at their young age in their communities. How you can see, for example, you see one child that's attending Cigar Family project, and maybe they have a brother or sister who's not attending because we just don't have enough capacity at this moment. And you can see the difference, how one child seems to be lost without much hope in life, yet the other child is talking about great ambitions and becoming a doctor, becoming a teacher, and to wanting to give back to their community. It's really scary to me to think this transformation is a miracle thanks to the generous support of so many people throughout the world and Cigar Family members. It's scary to me to think what is probably more severe than once you give a child hope is to take that hope away.
Our hope, our dream, our vision is that these kids will someday graduate from high school, go to college, become doctors, become nurses, become teachers, and give back. We want to start micro businesses there to really start, have an enterprise, give them a reason for wanting to go back to their community, and sort of education is the best way to accomplish that.
It's a feeling, I think it's the greatest reward a human being could receive, to know that in some small way that we've all participated to make this miracle something that the world could see and the world could follow.
There's so many more children that live in the communities that need to go to school, so many other people that need to be serviced by our Cigar Family Health Clinic. We've barely scratched the surface. Won't you help us continue our mission and support our Cigar Family Charitable Foundation today?
I'm so proud because I know that the students that we have here and the many students in the future is going to make a big difference in this world. With the changes that we've seen in just the last several years are remarkable. No one could have ever imagined that. But thanks to the contribution and the good hearts, the giving hearts of so many people around the world, we have shown that we can make a difference. There's no greater resource, the resource of the youth with a bright future. And we're all so proud to have this opportunity. They're beautiful and I love them very much.